Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be showing you some of the ins and outs of Google Calendar, such as the different ways you can view your calendar, how you create events, and the different settings you can set on your calendar. So first I'll go through some of the different views. What I have set as my default is your month view. I prefer month just because it can see all of your events out for the entire month. You can see, oh, if I want my friend to come over next weekend, if I have anything going on next weekend, or vice versa, if I want to go over and if I am busy. So you can also go through though with your week option, and what that'll do is it'll show you your activities planned out by week and what times you're scheduled it through. So you see school goes from 7 to 3:30. See, it starts at the 7 a.m. block and ends at 3:30. Alright, you also have your day view, which will show just the day you're on. Personally, I don't see the use for this view, but for some people, this is what they prefer. All it is showing you what you have going on a given day. You also have your agenda. That's kind of like the day view, except it's extended out over multiple days, and it just shows you over multiple days what you have going on in more detail than with the month. So now we're going to go back to the month calendar here, and we're going to go through the different ways you can create events. This is the biggest way. This is the main thing Google Calendar was made for. One of the, I think, the most interesting ways to create events is your quick add here. Now see what you're going to do. You type in just normal. So let me just copy this here because that's the easiest because I can't type too fast. I'm going to copy. Paste it here. Alright, now, so notice when it says dinner with 7 p.m. tomorrow. This is in reference to what your current day is right now. So I'm going to press add, and we see right down here that our dinner tomorrow with Michael has been added from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now to 8 p.m. I'll show you a little bit later, but when you're creating events, in your defaults it's set to an hour for each event. So if it starts at 7, it's going to end at 8. If it starts at 7:30, it's going to end at 8:30. And I'll show you how to change that. So we're just going to delete this event. Now we'll go through with a bit more sophisticated way to create your event. We're going to click the Create tab, and up here you see you have your event creating menu. Now let's type in, let's see, dinner with Michael. Alright, it's 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Now, another way you can also go in and change the time is you click over here to find a time, and this will bring up the menu like you saw in the day view, where you'll have all your different time slots, and what you'll it goes in actually, it shows 30-minute increments, but the weird thing is, if you keep dragging it all the way up here and past where it says supposedly 7:30, it goes to 7:15. Why does it do that? I don't know. Probably be a good question to ask Google, but I have not yet. Alright, so we're just going to go back over here, reset it to 8 o'clock, and go back to event details. You can enter a location. So we're going to go to dinner at that place. Oh, look at that. That place, Bar and Grill. Now you get to put it on a different calendar, so it would say it's either for your personal or work or whatever calendar you want to put it on. You can also add a description. I don't see a need for one for this particular event, but whatever it may be, you can put it there. Different color. If you want reminders, you can set those. You can also set your availability and privacy for this event. One of the also interesting things is that if, let's say, you're having a party and you have guests you want to invite that you have on Google and your contacts, you can enter your contacts' email addresses, and it will send them the invitation for this event through their email, and they can go through and RSVP through calendar and add it to their calendar, and everyone's going to have a great time. So now that we've gone through how to create an event using your traditional methods, let's go through, and there's one more way that you can add an event. We're going to go back to your calendar. I'm going to discard this event. Now, the other way is if you click on the day. Now, this will be very brief. You'll just type in the title of what the event is and what calendar the event is going on, and you'll just press create. Now, notice the edit event. If you go through here and you click on the school, you can go back and edit the event. If you made a mistake or need to change something, you can go back and edit your settings. So speaking of settings, that's where we're going to go to next. First, we're going to go through your general settings, see what different things you can set as your defaults. Alright, so you see you have your English is set as your language, country, United States, your time zone, your date formats, your time formats. Now here's what I was talking about earlier, your default event duration. Where I was talking about if something starts at 7, it's going to last till 8. You can change that right here. Max is 2 hours. But I mean, granted, you could change that if it's longer. But if that'd be nice, if something you do is usually an hour or so, you can just set that as that. You can also change what days your week start on if you're working. Let's say during the week and somebody wants to make an event with you. You can make this up and you can click this box right here. And what it will show, if they make an event during a time you're working, it'll show them a reminder that, hey, you're working. They may or may not be able to come. And it'll also show you that, let's say if it's something that somebody wants to do a meeting, but it's outside of work hours, they'll also remind them like, hey, this isn't in their work hours. It's a really nice feature. Also, what we have down here is your default view. I set that to month because that's what I prefer. Custom view is if you want like 4 days out, 5 days, or for whatever reason you just want like a 5-day week view. Alright. You can also choose to show your weather, so let's set that to Fahrenheit. If you want to show declined events. Just basically all your general settings for what you're going to need or want to do on your calendar. So I'm just going to press save, and it saves my settings. Alright, and it takes me back right to my calendar view, so if I changed anything major that will show up in my calendar, I can see it right here. Now, we're going to go back into settings. We're going to go back and I'm going to show you how to create a different calendar. So you have your personal calendar, you can make a work calendar, but you can have different calendars. So you'll see right here all the different calendars. If you're going to share them, you can edit the settings over here. You can import someone else's calendar and you can similarly export it to someone else. Now let's go to create one. It's going to look very similar to creating an event, except it's going to be obviously for a calendar. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your calendar name up here, your organization. If you have one, if it's for your personal email, it will probably show up as, fill in the blank or nothing. Description of what the calendar is for, where the calendar is for, the time zones, all those important things that go into making a successful calendar. So we're going to head back to calendar, and it will always take us back to this main menu. So we will go back into settings. And also an interesting feature in your mobile setup, there's 2 different kind of mobile services. You can have the calendar on your phone, and you can also have reminders sent to your phone about your calendar. So if you want to set up reminders, you go over and type in your phone number. It will send you a verification code. You type that code in, your country, and then it'll show as your activation for receiving notifications. You'll turn that on or off depending on what you want. You'll press save and you'll be good to go. Again, back to calendar, and now we're going to go with sync to mobile device. Now this is where you're going to get having your calendar on a mobile device. Alright, so you see, I chose Android since that's what I have. What you're going to do, it's going to pull up a whole bunch of different troubleshooting options, step-by-step walkthroughs for how to get this calendar on your device. It goes through for all your different operating systems of Android and different for tablets. really nice feature. It's really helpful. We're going to go back to our calendar. And one last thing that I think is kind of cool is that you want a custom view that's not exactly a month or a week or your 4 days or your agenda, whatever. And you're like, okay, I'm going on vacation from the 18th to the 27th. Well, or the 14th rather, I guess now. All right, so it will show up and it'll bring up your calendar for those days. So you can see you don't want to look at anything else, just isolate those days. And it'll be nice because that's what will show up. It'll show all your events that you have going on, and it'll be nice to easily organize and view what you have going on for that day. I hope this walkthrough was helpful, and I hope you now know how to use Google Calendar more